So today's topic is going to be talking about everyone's favorite thing to hate, and that is filler in anime. For like the very small percent of you that actually don't know what exactly do I mean by filler, this is exactly what I mean. Filler is a term that we use to, especially in anime or any kind of genre, when there's something that isn't canon to the story and it's there just to fill an episode. That's what most people mean by filler. So example, that you will have a filler arc in, say, Naruto, because they've caught on too much to the manga material and that they need to take a break so they don't catch up anymore. And most series actually do this. Some series take a hiatus and just disappear for a long while, like Gintama just takes break. Some series will do very long filler arcs like Naruto, or you can be like One Piece where you completely destroy the entire anime by having one chapter an episode for 24 minutes. Seriously, that's fucking unbearable, but you know, besides the point. And considering that a lot of the time I review shows that have a lot of filler in them, and most of the time not particularly good, and every time I've been here, oh this is bad, oh they changed the material, this is bad. I'm definitely going to be talking about how filler in its own way is good and bad. One thing that prompted this is because I keep watching a show known as Twin Star Exorcist, and every week I get, this show is cancer, this show is fucking bullshit, they keep changing this stuff. And for me as personally, it's not the best show, I can definitely say that much, but even with the latest episode I was a bit to it. So far from what I've seen of the show so far, it's been alright. Not amazing, alright. And just because something has different material from the source doesn't mean it's a bad thing. For an example, I'm going to give you something this season that has probably one of my favorite little parts that didn't happen in their original source. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, first episode, the first minute. No one can deny the impact of that first minute with the hand. That is absolutely fantastic, and that is a mood setter for that part. The Yusuke Murata version of One Punch Man. This has a lot of differences to the manga, and guess what? The anime has its own little things here and there as well that they do few little changes, and you know what? People praise and love it. FMA Brotherhood has the first episode of the entire show has filler in it, and the original FMA has a filler ending, and people still to this day debate whether or not which one had the best ending to it. Just because something doesn't follow the source material, that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, people complain about fast adaptations. And guess what? Even the critically acclaimed, this doesn't go just for anime as well, but the critically acclaimed Game of Thrones, these books are fucking, they're hugely popular, and people love this source material, but guess what? People also as well love the TV show, and even people that read these as well, read these big long books, will even say, I like the TV, I like some of the changes that they do to it. And something that has changes or does few little things and all that, I feel like people over-exaggerate with this show as well, like Tokyo Ghoul. When they did the first season, they did few changes, or they started skimming around with material and going fast, and it was 7, 8 volumes in 12 episodes. Guess what? No one was fucking complaining when that first finished, or when that was aired. People absolutely fucking loved that show, and then it was all the haters started coming out just because when the second season, which is a prime example of bad filler and changing with material. Even though season 2 does have some really cool moments here and there and some excellent music, I will say that especially the Route A, when you had such good source material, that's really bad. And when you try and do your own versions of it, yes, that's when filler gets bad. On one more account of actual good filler, let's talk about the Yu Yu Hakusho ending, where the ending in the manga is just plain fucking dog shit. It's just just stop there, and the anime had to clean up so much of that stuff, and throughout the entire series of it, following the material, doing a really good job of it, taking a few things out, Yusuke smoking and stuff, you get to see that ending, and that ending made me cry. That ending is beautiful, and you're thinking oh, but it's it isn't the source material, so I guess it's fucking terrible. I could name off so many other more series and all that have good filler parts to them, or even good filler endings. Detective Conan, about 1 billion of the episodes are filler, and they're fantastic. As I've mentioned, FMA ending. Noragami Season 1 has a fantastic ending. And then we can go into some bad stuff, which is pretty much every single Bleach filler there is, except for a few. Naruto Shippuden, take your pick. Which filler do you want? Which of the 800 episodes of filler do you want? Or Claymore, a show that I was head over heels for. The show that I would say that is one of my favorites that I was watching 2 years ago, and I fucking hated that ending so much. A lot of time, filler endings are just rough drafts of what mangakas like, or what people have in plan, or sometimes they just have to find a stopping point because it's like they only find out until the last minute, oh yeah, our show is getting cancelled or it's getting stopped. I believe that the show Hannibal on its last season didn't even find out till like episode 9 or 10 of when that was airing that they had to change things around. They had to like just immediately come up with like a way to conclude the story when they already had more plans to do it. That's why like some things like in manga material as well, you can even say it when something's getting cancelled, then it has to have to quickly do this rough drafting ending. Nothing is a prime example of that. If you have a look at the Hungry Joker ending, boy oh boy, am I so upset that never continued, because you knew that right there on that last chapter they was now about to go to the final area and he couldn't do anything about it. And this isn't going to stop and all that. This isn't going to stop with Twin Star Exorcist. This isn't going to stop with any of these kind of series. I can assure you and all that when some of these big shows and all that coming out, I'm sure you that probably Berserk is going to have it. I'm sure that Arslan series is going to have it when this new anime. Mob Psycho will probably have some of that. Drifters, Ed Live, Kuroko no Basket Extra Game, like, I'm pretty even sure, like, that highly acclaimed manga that everyone's talking about, I Am Hero, I'm pretty sure in some way they're going to do a scene that isn't from the manga, or change something, or do anything of that, and I know people are probably going to bitch about that if that series ever gets an anime. I think people need to stop being so bitchy and whiny like that, and I will say and all that, like, especially going back to the Twin Star Exorcist anime, like, it's not the best show in the world, but saying like it's just a 0 out of 10 when like there are good things about the show. Music composition is fucking fantastic. Its art style I really like. The world's like that's really unique. Like you can go into the voice acting. Voice acting is really good. I really like the voice acting in the series. Story, you know, it's there. It's like kind of generic shonen for the most part, but it has its points. And then changing with the material, like obviously like they have to do this to merchandise, because that's the main reason how like animes and all that get most of their budgeting. So if there's a popular character that doesn't appear until like chapter 20 of the manga, and they know it's like he's the bestseller and he's the main reason why some people pick up volumes, then they probably will put him in early in. And that, like, I kind of want to just say this thing because like I was like getting a little bit tired of like people kind of moaning a lot of the time about filler. In the way it does good, it is needed in there, and changing scenes and like just because it's different from its adaptation, then you know that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And sometimes people don't want an exact carbon copy of what they're getting, which is voice acting and good animation. Like, I absolutely adore the Gintama series, and hey, I love its source material a lot, but guess what? Like, I like the anime way more, even with its filler, even with its some stuff, because guess what? I absolutely love the voice actors. The voice actors make that show for me. It isn't because a lot of the time of the source material. It's actually the voice, like, you know, the actors that make those characters to me. If it was like, even still if it was a good story, I feel like I would lose a lot of that passion, a lot of that love I had, if it wasn't how much these characters nail at home how much they are. You know what you think in the comment section down below though. What do you think about this? Do you think filler, you know, like, do you think it's good through certain parts and all that? Do you think it's bad? And also as well, I'm kind of curious about what you think about Twin Star Exorcist, because I'm surprised this was the series that kind of cracked the egg, and yeah, I'm not going to do an episode of it this week. Just saying. Honestly, I didn't care for the episode. Like, that's the thing. I like the show, but then as well, it has its flaws, like any other show. I'll see you guys though next.